If you like coins with ships on them, well then welcome aboard. Today, we're going to be talking about this coin. This coin is from the country of Greece, and on the front represents Odysseus from the Iliad, or Homer's The Iliad. However, on the back features a Greek fighting ship. Now, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk a little bit about its history, the making. Just so you're aware, this is a 50 drachma coin created in 1988. So again, let's go ahead and get into the story of Homer's The Odyssey and talk a little bit about the tale of the hero Odysseus. Now, his journey became very famous in the story The Odyssey, as he was on his way home to his wife and son, going back to Ithaca after he had ended the Trojan War. Now, this is where he led the Greek army in conquering the city of Troy. Now, many of you know the story of Achilles and how he beat the Troy hero. And so when this was all done, they were getting ready to go back to Ithaca. Now, during that time, for several years, he encountered a number of fantastic and mystical adventures as he traveled the various seas between Troy and Ithaca. And soon after leaving Troy, Odysseus and his crew were taken captive by a Cyclops. Now, a Cyclops is the son of Poseidon. Now, in order to escape the Cyclops, Odysseus had to blind him. Now, this upset Poseidon. So Odysseus was then cursed, and he had to face the sea god Poseidon for the remainder of his journey. So Poseidon threw a whole bunch of mysterious and mythical creatures in his path for him to defeat. Now, there's much uncertainty about how the origins of the poem and the story became, but it's commonly believed that the Odyssey was written sometime in around the 8th or 7th century BC. There are two types of ships. There's the bireme and the trireme. Now, a bireme is a ship with two banks of oars, and it was probably adopted from the Phoenicians following the landing warship of the 8th century BC. Now, Greek biremes were probably about 80 feet or 24 meters long with a maximum beam length of around 10 feet or 3 meters. Now, within 2 or 3 generations, the first trireme started to appear. Now, the trireme has 3 banks of oars and eventually took over as the primary warship for Greece. But like its predecessor, the trireme mounted a single mast. Now, what was cool about this mast is that it had a rectangular shell that could be furled, which means that it could be brought up. The other thing that was really cool about this particular ship is that the mast was able to be lowered and stored, which means that it had a full deck on top that was uninterrupted, that they would be able to conduct battleship operations from. Now, this type of warship truly was some of the first seagoing warships. And if you look at things like the Odyssey or movies like 300 or things where they talk about the various battles, you'll see some of these triremes where when they're in battle mode, it's just a flat surface with a lot of fighting area. Prior to this time frame, a lot of the ships were just utilized to go to various land ports, which is where they would do their pillaging and things of that nature. It wasn't until the development of ships like this that true naval warfare would begin. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. I hope that you learned something. Again, as we go through various countries and various coins, I want to thank you for coming in and listening to the tale of Homer and the trireme. This is Frostbite. Have a wonderful evening.